So I decided to open a very small shop that didn't cost me a lot of money. I was like thinking, yeah, just give it a try. If it doesn't work out, I still have my music career.
Bubble tea is arguably one of Taiwan's most popular exports, and homegrown bubble tea stores can be found in many parts of the world. Kai Yun Cheng, former classical musician turned owner of northern Germany's Home Taste Jia, has big dreams for his modest but growing bubble tea chain. He tells us all about it in this week's edition of Taiwan Talk.
Yeah, basically, I grew up in South Africa, so that's where I learned my English, and I've been living there till the age of 14, and then I moved back to Taiwan, and then I learned my Chinese over there. So I can speak fluently Chinese, but the writing is a bit hard for me because I never got to do trainings and learn how to write correctly. But reading somehow works out for me. I don't know how that works. I can read, but I cannot write. Yeah, something very interesting as well. I can also speak Taiwanese.
講大記啊
哇
right?
哇，以後講大意. Yeah, it's crazy because my grandmother doesn't know how to speak Chinese that well, so I had to learn how to speak Taiwanese at a very young age, and that's how I don't know why, because like my cousin, they live in Taiwan, but they don't speak fluently Taiwanese like I do. Funny story.
Wait, were you born in South Africa? Or
No,
were
I
you-
was born in Germany, and I left Germany with my mother at the age of 3 years old, and then I moved to South Africa. And I came back to Germany at the age of 16 because I wanted to study music. I'm actually a concert pianist. I did my bachelor and my master in Lübeck Musikhochschule. And then, yeah, right after I finished my studies, I opened a small shop in Lübeck, the bubble tea shop. And it just went insane. Like the business was doing good, and I had to decide whether or not I should keep on. I was teaching in the music school at that time, and I was like, just choose one. And then I decided to do the business trip.
do you feel like you wasted your time at music school?
No, actually, I'm still very passionate with music, and but the biggest problem I had is when I was playing my music, I had a lot of stress because all the time I was constantly thinking, where would my money come from later on, and by doing music, it's a really hard and a tough time to get stable income. So that kind of like destroyed my music passions in a way. I really wanted to like feel free when I'm playing music. So I had to find another way to get income and let my music live on. But right now, I don't have any time to play music anymore. But I hope, like in the future, when I retire early, that I can get back to music someday.
Okay, so tell me about your bubble tea shops. First of all, why did you decide to open a bubble tea chain?
So the story is kind of long because I decided to do business when during my studies already. Because during my studies, I wasn't sure. I asked myself what I'm gonna do later on. I was also planning to just quit the study and just start working somewhere else because I didn't know what my future plan was. So I started doing my business plan while I was in studying, and my bubble tea name is called Home Tea Jia, and this Jia is home in Chinese, and home stands for House of Music Enterprise. The Home Tea, the home. And it's actually going to be helping students from overseas to come to Germany and prepare music studies and help them feel like home when they're all like in Germany, although they are far away from motherland. And that's where this whole concept started. And I needed money, so I was like thinking what can possibly generate more income for me in a short amount of time. And by that time, bubble tea wasn't a thing in Germany. But at the time, 6 years ago, when I started thinking about doing business, I thought, why not bring bubble tea back to life again? So I decided to open a very small shop that didn't cost me a lot of money. I was like thinking, yeah, just give it a try. If it doesn't work out, I still have my music career. And yeah, that's how I started doing bubble tea, and then everything goes on from then. The shop went viral, and then I opened a second shop here in Kiel, and it was a very interesting thing because back then there was Corona over here, and we had lockdown. And my shop was the only shop in this area that can still open, and we can do like takeaways and stuff. And everybody had lockdown, but they are allowed to get groceries and get drinks. So during the Corona time, I actually had a really good business going on because everybody was sitting at home. They had nothing to do. It was locked down, and the kids had nowhere to go because they are not allowed to meet at or go somewhere. So they would just like come and get a bubble tea and just go home. And the shop was doing really good back then, and that's how I generated all my money for the restaurant we are in right now.
So you said you had 4 restaurants, is that correct?
No, 2 bubble tea shops
sorry,
and
yes.
2 restaurant. The one is in Hotenauer Straße. That is, it's not really a restaurant, but you can also have food over there. I would just call it a cafe.
Okay, I want you to go back a little bit and explain your idea about setting up something that helps overseas students.
Yes.
Is it to bring them to Germany or to help support them while they're here? What was your plan at the time?
Because I know how hard it is to get into the music industry and studies. Take for instance, I came here for my studies when I came back to Germany just because I wanted to study music at the age of 16, and I realized that it's so hard to get information from overseas. Let's take example from China. You don't have Google over there. You don't know when the exams are. You don't know where to get applies, and it's very hard to just get the right information. And then secondly is when you do your audition. It is really tough competition going on because you have like in my case in Lübeck was 250 people auditioning for 3 spots, and I was lucky to get in. But then I was also asking myself, is it just because I'm talented or good or whatever? But I think most of the thing is I live in Germany and I have the right contacts to the teachers beforehand, and I even have the opportunity to practice piano. And the people that comes overseas, they don't have the opportunity to practice before they go for the audition because we only have 1 hour before audition or 30 minutes before audition to warm up, and then we have to go on stage and do our audition. And how do you think you can possibly give your 100% best at the audition if you don't get the opportunity to practice? So that's where everything came together, and I was looking at all the students that finish their studies, it's really hard to find jobs, and I thought, why not just do like something like House of Music Enterprise, where we can help them get contacts to the professor before the audition, and then also give them classes, because we have a lot of students, professional music people that doesn't have jobs, and you can hire them to give you better classes than the ones we have back in our hometown, like say for instance Taiwan or China or whatsoever, because the music is still a European thing, and Taiwan teachers will have another taste and approach for the teaching style as for the music, and I think it's not a bad idea for the students, if they want to come to Germany to do the audition, to get the right, or like to get another opinion of their technique or their music from a German pianist or German musician.
So you support students
I
when
support
they
them.
arrive,
Yes.
and then you give them access to professors and
Yes.
teachers and instruments possibly,
Instruments.
which is very important. And then after that, you also help them. Do they come and work as well? Is there a way for them to earn a living when they're here?
No. So because most of the people who comes and apply for studies are mostly like 18 years old, 19 years old, and the first goal for me is for them to get into university, and I help them to do, when they get on the university, also find an apartment, to open a bank account, to do all these paperwork that you normally don't do.
You were listening to Kai Yun Cheng, owner of Home Taste Jia. And that does it for this week's edition of Taiwan Talk. I'm Hope Ngo. You can catch this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you download your podcasts. Thank you for tuning in.